they're jonesing for a little nostalgia trip.
No, I mean, I know people are really big Disney sluts sometimes. But fuck. Listen, I know several people who are just like, Disney. And like, I get it. Disney movies are pretty good. We're not talking about Disney movies. We're talking about Disney
talking about
attractions at the theme parks.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
A lot of them.
Epcot, the board game.
So first up on the show, we have a weekly Muse. And the Weekly Muse is sort of a big grab bag this week because when I was going through the internets, you might have heard of those.
As one does.
I was looking up some video game news. Video game news? I was looking up some tabletop news, and it turns out that, I don't know if you were aware of this, but basically everything is being turned into a game.
Yes, yeah. I am aware of that. Or every game is being turned into a movie.
Yes. More on that in a different episode, because there's a lot.
Never.
Yeah, maybe we won't. But really, a lot of tabletop games, some RPGs, and a lot of board games. A surprising amount.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of board games getting turned into video games.
Oh, yeah. I've
been
seeing that.
Several of them by letter games.
Oh, yes. And good for them.
Yes.
This one, though, I wanted to talk about some licensed properties, a lot of them actually, that have decided to dip their toes into the tabletop space. And the big one that was announced this last month was that, hey, Power Rangers, the one and only, is going to have a role-playing game, a tabletop role-playing game. So...
why? Is that even still relevant? Are Power Rangers still relevant?
Apparently.
Where?
In some place. I don't even know if there's a current series going on, to be honest with you.
I don't know, and I'm scared to look it up.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as they like to remind us, was first premiered in '93. Just to kind of give you an idea.
In America, you mean?
Sure.
Because it's not originally American, but...
Well, most of the scenes are the same in the Japanese version and the American version, but it doesn't matter. The point is that if you were a kid in the 90s, you might have remembered the Power Rangers, the teenagers with attitude, and
that what they were called?
You don't remember the Power Rangers, I am guessing. You don't remember Zordon coming down and going, "You need to find me teenagers with attitude." And then they found 5 teenagers with attitude.
For the record, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was an adaptation of the 1992 Japanese Super Sentai series.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's only a year prior, but...
Right.
Yeah.
And for those who don't really understand, what they did is they wanted to get it to an American audience, to a Western audience. So they basically left all of the scenes with the people in the suits the same. And then they just changed the actors around for the out of costume part.
And 90s teenagers.
So they could reuse half the episode without having to do really anything at all.
And those great big cardboard cityscapes.
Sword
fights.
They could just repurpose it the same way. I recently found out that the Fraggles did something similar. The old man who was in the shop in the Fraggles.
I thought you were gonna say the Fraggles made a TTRPG.
No, don't worry. We have other things to talk about. But no, that the Fraggles, the section with the old man and the dog, different countries had different old men and dogs.
That makes sense. That's localization.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But
you would not have an old Chinese man in an American audience because at the time that would make zero sense.
Probably.
I mean, still wouldn't make a lot of sense culturally, depending like what you're doing, but whatever.
I don't know much about Frangles.
Frangles?
Frangles. Sorry, I don't know much about Frangles. I know that Uncle Travelin' Mate had went to a lot of places, but I think we got on
Frangles here.
Sorry, I think we got off on too many Frangles as for the moment. Just some acute Frangles we got going on. But the point is, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Power Rangers, something else that doesn't really make much sense, but yeah. So it's getting a tabletop RPG version, and it's going to be using the Essence 20 system.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so the Essence 20 system basically has 4 main stats: strength, speed, smarts, and social. And
why are there all S's?
Because, I mean, come on, it's the Essence 20 system. I think they just wanted to go with S's.
Is it the SSS apostrophe S?
No, it's
system.
No, it's Essence, like you would see in like
well, that's
Kingdoms
just
of
bad
Amalur.
branding.
Yeah, I know. They really should have thought this through. But no, I think they just wanted 4 S's in a row. I don't really know why. But the idea is that those 4 then derive to other stats. That there's like 3 or 4 other stats.
Do they all start with S's too?
No, they don't. They don't. You have building blocks that might be deception, but also like encouragement for like your social stat. So it kind of, as I was reading up on it, I was like, this actually sounds a lot more like just how D&D skills and stats work, but we're not going to talk about that. Feels similar. The same building blocks, though, Alex, good news, are going to be used for RPGs for G.I. Joe and Transformers. Did I break your brain for a second
If
there?
I wanted to do a G.I. Joe type game, I'd probably use Wrath and Glory.
Oh, okay.
From
Okay.
the Warhammer RPG that they did. I don't remember who owns the rights to that right now. The Wrath and Glory one was not Fantasy Flight, I don't think. I think it maybe... I don't know. Anyways, I'd probably use Wrath and Glory, because then I wouldn't need to learn a G.I. Joe one, and I could just still kill aliens. America.
Yeah.
Transformers, however...
Yeah.
I mean... The issue I have with this isn't that I think it sounds terrible. It's like,
Sure.
how do you get to make your Transformer? I want to see this character creation process.
I don't know. And do you get to choose between the Decepticons and the Autobots, or?
I think maybe there's a freewheeling
Oh, yeah.
faction. I don't know. I think there's other ones. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. How
Where
to
does
get
it
more
take
powerful.
place? Is it on Cybertron?
I'd love it if it was on Cybertron.
Is
right?
it on? I mean, can we do like Transformers Beast Wars? Because that was my favorite.
Oh yeah, Beast Wars was terrific.
My on topic, but off topic. My favorite Transformer in Transformers Beast Wars was Inferno.
Wow.
He was the fire ant, and he always called Megatron his queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that was
ant colonies.
Right. I'm trying to think who was on Beast Wars that I like. Wasn't there one that was a manta ray?
I think maybe. I don't remember who it was.
Right. There was the cheetah. I like the cheetah.
That was Bumblebee.
That Bumblebee turned into the cheetah.
Sorry, Cheetor.
Cheetor. Right.
And then Waspinator was Starscream.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And just insufferable.
Yeah. Who was Rat Trap? I remember Rat Trap, but I don't remember who it was originally.
I don't remember.
I love the fact, though, that they turned Optimus into the gorilla, and they made him Optimus Primal.
Yes.
That was great.
Until later on, when he became just like a jet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a bulldozer. I don't know. A ton of things. And Megatron became a freaking two-headed dragon.
Yeah. It might have gone a little off the rails at the end there, but anyway, now you get to play an RPG about it, so, hey.
Well,
maybe the Beast Wars.
about Transformers, maybe not Beast Wars.
That'll be an add-on. That'll be a splat book.
I hope so.
I hope so, yeah.
See, I actually think that'd be interesting. Like, especially from our Nier episode where we talked about the modular skills and slots type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I assume Transformers would be able to change out their equipment. A large robot TTRPG,
Mm-hmm.
like a Gundam style TTRPG,
Mm-hmm.
probably not terrible, depending on the system itself. But you know,
Right. Understandable. Anyway, those are all using the Essence 20 system, which is a system that I had just learned about when I was looking all of this stuff up. But they are not, by any means, the only things that...
What else, Nathan?
Oh, there's so much more, Alex. RuneScape, which
I mean,
it's an RPG, but
I know.
But did you know that it is also going to have a board game and tabletop RPG that they say are going to be compatible with D&D 5e?
I don't understand how that would work.
I don't either. It did not seem to make sense when I was reading about it either.
I don't know if you ever played RuneScape.
I did not.
It's a lot of grind.
It's a lot of grind. Well, yeah.
I assume it's RuneScape Classic.
Yeah. It's probably RuneScape Classic.
Because yeah, it's a lot of grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of that bookkeeping we've said multiple occasions that doesn't really work well for tabletop because no one wants to do accounting.
Yeah. They say that it is promising fresh but faithful adaptations of classic quests and characters. And the board game for 1 to 5 players will involve chatting to NPCs, exploring the world, and tackling quests. Almost sounds a little bit more like the board game is like a pocket version of an RPG that you just like lay out on the table.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, there'll be crafting, cooking, and leveling up skills involved.
Oh boy. At least they have crafting because that's a huge part of RuneScape.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like leveling your crafting for 400 hours.
Perfect. Can't wait for that to be a board game where you get to sit around a table with other people.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, wanted to touch on that. But there's more. Don't worry. we got
But
plenty.
wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more, and in some ways, so much less. They recently announced in February that Funko Games, you might have heard of them, are...
Nope.
Well, you've heard of Funko.
Nope.
You just talked about Funko Pops on the last episode.
Oh, Funko. I thought you were like Funko.
Oh, no, Funko.
Like the fun company.
Oh, yeah, no. Funko. The ones that make the little action figures and stuff. Pop figures. Anyway, they have a games division, and they revealed that they're...
Really?
Yeah, go figure. And they have revealed that they have a whole new set of tabletop games that are going to be inspired by Disney characters and attractions. And when I say that, Alex, I'm not talking about, like, for the individual movies or, like, the more recent ones.
Like the theme park?
Yeah, like, there's gonna be one called Happiest Day. It's a board game about the Magic Kingdom. There's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Are these licensed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Walt Disney.
Why? Who cares?
Some of these, though, I was like, I am surprised they thought that they wanted to do these. They're doing a Goofy movie game. Do you remember the Goofy movie?
But that probably needed something because that movie was great.
It was. And in similar fashion, Return of the Headless Horseman. There's gonna be a game.
Okay,
you get to play
so
classic
who are they aiming? What are all these IPs we're talking about aiming at? Are they just aiming at 90s kids?
Apparently. Maybe they figured that, like, during this time period where, like, tabletop's making a resurgence and, like, a lot of, like, the folks in the 30s, maybe early 40s, 30s and 40s, they're jonesing for a little nostalgia trip.
No, I mean, I know people are really big Disney sluts sometimes. but fuck. Listen, I know several people who are just like, Disney. And like, I get it. Disney movies are pretty good. We're not talking about Disney movies. We're talking about Disney attractions at the theme parks.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
A lot of
Epcot, the board game.
Yeah, I know. I mean, not all of them are specifically about the attractions, but I thought that those were the really standout ones. There are going to be ones, like they're doing one for the Disney princesses called Pattern Party. Yeah.
Do you make quilts?
You spin a little dial to match characters and colors and patterns and shapes. I'm sure it's like ages 3 and up, so I don't think that it's supposed to be a particularly, robust mechanical game. But
so basically what I'm hearing is Funko is making games that are aimed at either 30 to 40-year-olds or children who don't know anything in art and school.
I mean, that's kind of Disney's entire business model, really, if you think about it.
That's fair.
That's why they brought back, the Star Wars. They wanted the nostalgia trip for the older folks, and then they wanted something that the younger kids could still enjoy because it got lights and sound and everything. It's actually kind of in the model. It's just I
guess I'm just wondering, like, are they going to be taking classic like Hasbro type games, Milton Bradley games, and just retooling them to be Disney?
That would be interesting. None of these necessarily look like they're specifically like a Milton Bradley game. Actually, the Goofy Movie game has like a map of the United States and Mexico, where it looks like there's different spots where you're supposed to like make memories, and you like have chance elements. What the game will also feature elements of fate.
So
that's the other one.
The Game of Life.
It's the Game of Life. Yeah, it's
the Goofy Movie.
For the Goofy Movie, it is. You'll be able to play cards that allow you to collect memories and travel to new locations. And then they have locations that are based on the film.
So it's like the Game of Life.
Yeah.
But goofy.
But goofy.
But
goofy. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
It's good.
I hate this. I hate all this.
Don't worry, there's so much more.
Oh, god damn.
This is one of those episodes where it's just gonna break Alex. No. After I saw all of this, Alex, I started thinking to myself, is this just like a big trend of like just massive interest in licensed titles from other things getting into the space? And I pulled up this article from Polygon that came out earlier in the year, where they mentioned the most funded tabletop Kickstarters of 2021. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, they list 10, and at least half of these are licensed games.
I'm sure one of the biggest was probably Avatar.
Avatar was at the top, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Avatar Legends. But you probably didn't know that The Witcher Old World was...
I think, is it an RPG or a board game?
I believe it's a board game.
I did hear about it.
It is, yeah.
Vaguely.
Similarly, though, these are ones I was not familiar with. Stellaris Infinite Legacy. Had not.
I think I saw something about that too. I didn't realize it was a tabletop game though. Stellaris kind of makes sense as a tabletop board game though.
It's a strategy game, so yeah. Monster Hunter World, the board game. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that works. Yeah.
I don't.
The Binding of Isaac, Four Souls Requiem. I don't really know how you turn a roguelike into a game, but interesting.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. Maybe it's a tiling game. I don't.
It appears to be a card game.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah. Even worse. And because, of course, we needed to, of course, there is a Marvel United X-Men game. So, you needed one. It's great. So, yeah, out of the 10 largest Kickstarters, the other ones I don't think are based on that I'm aware of are based on a previous or like a franchise. But those 5 were very large, and we're talking about anywhere from the 9.5 million that Avatar made down to Stellaris at the bottom, but still at 2.5 million.
Why are we doing this? Why don't we just talk about Disney?
You just want to talk more about Disney?
Let's just, apparently people just go crazy over that. We're gonna do an entire Disney-themed episode of Total Puddle Lockdown.
Yeah.
If you're interested, give us ideas.
You know what one of those segments has to be is that we're gonna take one of the most obscure movies in like the Disney animated catalog, and we'll have to brainstorm a game that we can make out of it. I'll take suggestions. We'll take suggestions.
Perfect.
For that.
And then we'll pitch it to Disney, because apparently being creatively bankrupt gets you money.
I guess so. And hey, if they don't pick it up, Netflix will buy anything, really.
I mean, we don't have the IP, so we can't.
Well, we'll change some names around.
Fair. Good. Perfect.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll change some names around, and all of a sudden, we have a brand new...
Just remember, Nathan, in tabletop, you cannot copyright your mechanics. Therefore, we can just wholesale rip games and make new games with new themes.
That's true. That's true. Although, did they change the... We did that episode. No. I think you're good. I think you're okay. But I guess my big takeaway from this is I don't really know if every single IP in the world needs to make a tabletop game. I feel like it's...
I think most of them shouldn't.
Yeah, and I know that the reason why they do is because, well, money.
Fandoms.
Fandoms will buy anything. If you're a Marvel fan, you probably won't play the game. You're not necessarily, but you'll want to buy the game.
Maybe.
Or
let's make a Supernatural board game.
You know, that would actually do really well.
Yeah, I know.
That would do so well. And you know what you do is if you can just get like Jensen Ackles.
You probably could.
Yeah, just to promote it.
What you do is you sell it with it comes with packets of salt.
Perfect.
I didn't watch Supernatural. I just know.
Neither did I. They could make Riverdale into that would be horrifying. It would be a horror game.
Perfect. We need more horror games in the world.
We really do, especially ones based on that. I think that there is just like a certain... Sometimes they try to fit way too much into the framework of making it into a game. So I definitely don't... Like, I don't necessarily need The Wire to end up being a game I play. It would just be odd for them to do that. Although, come to think of it, they did turn Sopranos into a video game, didn't they?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we just don't. I know that they're going to because, as we just said, there's so much money involved in these. Maybe not for Power Rangers, but the point is, I'm sure they'll recoup whatever the cost was that they put into it.
Really?
Yeah. If you had
$20,
the $20 they put into it, what like Saturday morning cartoon would you like to see a board game of?
Oh man, I know you'd probably say the fucking Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
Damn, I don't know. Saturday morning cartoon or just cartoon in general?
We could just do cartoons in general.
I don't know. I watch a lot of cartoons. I'd like to actually, I know what I would like. If anything was to be a tabletop game made from a IP I do like, I would say Adventure Time needs to have an RPG.
Adventure Time? Adventure Time needs an RPG?
Yep.
That would be pretty great. You know,
yeah.
I played an Adventure Time video game that was an RPG.
Yes, they've made a couple. But I mean like a tabletop RPG.
Game. Yeah, where you could actually build your character.
So we're going to try and get Pendleton Ward on the show.
Sure.
To discuss making a Adventure Time TTRPG with.
You know what I just thought would be a great thing to turn into an RPG? Heavy metal.
Like lead?
No. No, the
I don't know heavy metal.
That's okay. People who just heard me say that know what I'm talking about. So
Great. Thanks for explaining it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Heavy metal was a very adultish kind of cartoon back in the 80s, and it had a very
we don't need any more adult-oriented RPGs.
Well, it would have been considered like more R-rated, but it was a movie. But it was like very much like every scene, every like frame looked like a heavy metal album cover when they made it. It was that kind of art style. And...
there's an ad going on that I've seen on Facebook for a Kickstarter called like Astra Inferno or something like that.
Oh yeah,
or whatever it is, and the logo is like so heavy metal that it's not something you can read.
Oh yeah. That's fair.
And like I actually looked in their comments, and someone's like, "That logo is not like legible. Maybe you could do better." And they're like, "It's not meant to be read by human souls." And it's like, all right, fair.
It was no, I was just thinking to myself, like, that feels like just the box art alone looks like if Dungeons and Dragons decided to like go through like a punk phase or a goth phase. Heavy metal has.
I think you mean like a satanic phase, actually.
Oh, maybe a little bit, or they went through the terrible teens and they came out the other side.
Well, then you would just need to put a swoop of hair and some eyeliner on it.
Yeah. Probably like most of the characters in the game. Or in the movie. But anyway, so that's it. But you know what? You were probably right. Powerpuff would be better. Just do that.
Adventure Time,
Powerpuff.
There might be one.
Crossover. I'm thinking crossover right now. We'll do a crossover of those two. Since they're gonna make Power Rangers into a game, they should do Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog. That would also be an equally bad idea. You could choose your elemental weapon, and then you'd have to choose like if you were going to be the champion of Earth, or of water, or of air, or
you just want a Captain Planet RPG, Nathan?
I'll take it.
Nope. All right.
Anyway,
are there any more terrible licenses you need to tell me about
probably
before we end the segment?
Probably, but not at the moment. So you can find
on our next Friday feature. Sorry, Saturday special.
On the Saturday special, just like every other one that we could possibly find. But I think that was all I wanted to do for now, because that is a lot.
That is too many.
It is too many. All right, so great. Everything licensed is a game now. Register TM copyright.